What is going on, Summoners? We're back here today with another Champion Deep Dive. Today, we're talking about Ant-Man Future. So sit back and relax, cause it's time to get into it! Ant-Man enters the contest with a new unique ability, Disintegration, which deals direct damage to the opponent while it's active, while also reducing their combat power rate by a given potency. He also has a 10% chance to glance on all incoming attacks that land or strike into his block. However, if the opponent has an active Pierce effect, his personal glancing abilities fail to activate. At the start of each fight, Ant-Man inflicts a 14-second encroaching power detonation passive on the opponent that begins indefinitely paused, but is unpaused when striking the opponent. While defending, it's also unpaused as Ant-Man is being attacked. When this expires, he drains 40% of their current power and inflicts a power detonation passive for 18 seconds. While the opponent is suffering from a power detonation passive, all of his hits inflict a 15% potency instant disintegration, dealing direct damage to the opponent. Ant-Man's power detonation passive deals direct damage upon expiring naturally. However, this effect is removed early if the affected champion uses a special attack. Whenever this effect expires for any reason, he re-inflicts his encroaching power detonation passive on the opponent. And if this power detonation expires naturally, he inflicts a 15% potency disintegration debuff, dealing direct damage over 24 seconds. This debuff is paused during Ant-Man's special attacks. Ant-Man also starts each fight with one Nano Armor Up buff, which increases the chance for incoming attacks to glance by 6%. These buffs count as armor up effects, increase his armor rating, and can stack indefinitely up to 5 times. Any additional Nano Armor Up buffs gained above 5 last for 4 seconds and expire one at a time, maxing out at 10 stacks. Additionally, all Nano Armor Up effects are paused during both champions' special attacks. Ant-Man gains 2 Nano Armor Up buffs when he intercepts the opponent. He gains 1 Nano Armor Up buff when interrupting the opponent's heavy attack, and he also gains 1 each time he glances a hit. Attacks that intercept Ant-Man remove 1 of his Nano Armor Up buffs and cannot glance. Whenever a Nano Armor Up buff fails to trigger or is removed for any reason, it is replaced with a passive of the same potency. Nano Armor Up passives cannot be removed by armor break effects and count as Armor Up buffs for all of his personal abilities. Speaking of which, while Ant-Man has 6 or more Nano Armor Up buffs, he activates his Surging Swarm, increasing his attack rating and making his opponent behave more aggressively. Additionally, his encroaching power detonation passive expires 200% faster. Finally, if his opponent strikes him with a combo-ending attack that happens to glance, they're inflicted with a stun debuff for 1.5 seconds. Now, let's check out his special attacks. If Ant-Man has over 2 bars of power when completing a light-ending combo, his current highest level special attack is disabled for 0.5 seconds. The Special 1. When the second hit of this attack lands or strikes into the opponent's block, Ant-Man inflicts a 15% potency disintegration debuff, dealing direct damage over 24 seconds. This debuff is paused during Ant-Man's special attacks, scales with base attack only, and maxes out at 2 stacks. Additionally, the final hit does not grant the opponent power. Instead, it drains 15% of a bar of power for each disintegration debuff on the opponent. With the Special 2, each hit inflicts a 10% potency instant disintegration on the opponent, dealing direct damage. This ability gains plus 100% potency for each disintegration debuff on the opponent. The Special 3. At the end of this attack, Ant-Man gains 10 Nano Armor Up buffs. Also, he'll inflict a non-stacking 15% potency disintegration debuff on the opponent, dealing direct damage over 60 seconds. Now let's check out his signature ability. When awakened, incoming bleed and incinerate effects suffer up to 90% reduced duration. Additionally, when a bleed or incinerate effect expires naturally on Ant-Man, he gains a non-stacking self-repair buff, healing up to 3% of his missing health over 6 seconds. This buff is lost early if Ant-Man is stunned. And when Ant-Man would lose more than 10% of his max health from a single source, he reduces the damage to 10% of his max health and gains a self-repair buff, healing up to 5% of his max health over 12 seconds. This damage protection will not activate when Ant-Man is hit with a special 3. Now, let's take him out for a spin in the champion rotation. To begin, focus on intercepting the opponent or interrupting their heavy to gain at least 6 nano armor buffs and activate Surging Swarm. From here, slowly attack the opponent to let your encroaching power detonation expire, draining the opponent's power below 1 bar. Once your power detonation passive is on the opponent, slow play while building to about 2.5 bars of power and keeping your nano armor buffs high. Once your power detonation is nearly expired, perform a light ending combo to disable your special 2 and immediately throw a special 1 to inflict a disintegration debuff and drain the opponent's power. Continue using your special 1 in this way until you have 3 disintegration debuffs active, while taking advantage of the opponent's reduced combat power rate with aggressive gameplay to build to your special 2 and launch when ready to nuke the opponent with increased potency instant disintegration. Now, let's check out some notable synergies. Bug Speak. With Ant-Man, Wasp, or Yellow Jacket on the team, Ant-Man Future cannot miss while the opponent is inflicted with one of his personal power detonation effects. As for Ant-Man Classic, his unsteady debuffs gain plus 25% duration. As for Wasp, her shock potency is increased by 25%. And with Yellow Jacket, each time he inflicts a power sting debuff on the opponent, he'll also inflict them with a physical vulnerability debuff for 10 seconds. Deadliest Menace of Yesterday. With Odin or Ultron Prime on the team, shock effects inflicted onto Ant-Man suffer minus 60% duration. With Odin, when he's inflicted with a shock effect, he gains an indefinite shock resist buff, increasing his shock resistance by 50%. And as for Ultron, his bleed and degeneration debuffs gain plus 30% duration. Call of the Past. With Cable or Bishop on the team, whenever the opponent gains a prowess effect, Ant-Man gains 1 nano armor up buff. With Cable, each time he's inflicted with an incinerate effect, future incinerate durations are reduced by 10%, maxing out at 50%. And as for Bishop, he gains plus 20% incinerate debuff potency. Did you see a synergy that had you sizing up the competition? Thinking of a new synergy team? Let us know your thoughts below, and let's discuss. Thank you for watching this champion deep dive for Ant-Man Future. And hey, if you liked the video and want to see more, click subscribe, like, comment, and share. And remember, we'll see you in the battle round.